Hello and welcome. This short video will walk you through the procedures for completing the forms and approvals necessary for traveling for the Haralson County School System for a trip that will require an overnight stay. To qualify for an overnight stay, the event must be over 50 miles one way from your starting point. This should either your home or your school, whichever is closer to the event. There are several forms and procedures that must be completed and approved by your immediate supervisor in the board office prior to your event. The 4 forms that will need to be completed are the professional leave expense quote, the absence request for leave form, and both the city and state tax exemption forms. In addition, you will need to make advance registration for your hotel and request a confirmation email for the total amount to be charged for your room. From the Haralson County Schools web page, select the Departments tab. From either the drop-down menu or the Departments page, select Professional Learning. On the far right, you will find a link to travel forms. Remember, the most up-to-date versions of all travel forms are located in the far right menu box located under Travel Forms on the Professional Learning page. The first form we will look at will be the Professional Leave Expense Quote. There are several new areas that will need to be completed on this year's form. Make sure to note the various items that you will need prior to completing the form. These include access to your school's or the district's strategic plan. All of the plans can be found under the Parents tab. For example, from the Haralson County Schools web page, you can find the district plan by selecting Parents. Then in the right menu, under Helpful Downloads, the Haralson County Strategic Implementation Plan is available for viewing. To find your individual school's plan, select your school from the drop-down menu. As an example, the high school has their parent link in the left menu. Look for either the terms Strategic or Improvement Plan. You will need the information contained in this document to complete your form. Remember, you can find the most up-to-date copy of the Professional Learning Expense Quote in the left-hand menu under Travel Forms. A form to open will be sent, usually to the bottom left corner of your screen. Double-clicking should automatically open the document in Microsoft Word. Select Enable Editing to complete the form. Clicking on the gray boxes will allow you to complete the form. Let's use Dr. Robinson's form she completed to attend the upcoming GAETC conference for our example. The first few boxes are rather self-explanatory. However, we can see here that the new form will require us to tie all professional learning back to either our schools or district strategic improvement plans. Due to Dr. Robinson's location at the Board of Education, she was able to use Goal Area 3 of the District Strategic Plan to show relevance for her attendance at this particular event. Select individual goals and objectives from either your schools or the district's Strategic Improvement Plan that are relevant to the outcomes of your event. Another area that is new will be the identification of how you expect to specifically use the information to meet the identified goal or objective. In her role in providing and delivering professional development, Dr. Robinson has selected redelivery to teachers. In her role as a teacher, she also will be using information she learns to improve the instruction in her classroom. She also plans on using the information gathered to assist with an analysis of current technology procedures in light of new technologies that were introduced at the conference. Next, we will need to look at the expenses that Dr. Robinson anticipates incurring. Due to the fact that the conference is approximately 62 miles from her closest starting point, she will be eligible for overnight, meals and travel expenses. She found out the exact mileage by going to the conference website and searching for the place where the conference is being held. In this case, the Georgia International Convention Center. Going to the Convention Center website, she was able to get the exact address. Using Google Maps and directions, she plugged in the address closest to the center, in this case, the Board of Education, and the address of the Convention Center. The total mileage for the most direct route one way is 62.5 miles. Now that she is sure that she will qualify for lodging if she chooses to spend the night, Dr. Robinson will again refer to the conference webpage to identify her lodging options. Looking at the different hotels, She will be able to find out which ones are closest to her event and available to make a reservation. It is recommended that you make your reservations immediately when you determine that you would like to attend a conference to ensure that you are able to stay at the hotel of your choice. You can always cancel your reservation at a later date if it doesn't work out. Due to the popularity of this event, the first 2 hotels are currently sold out at the discounted rate. The only hotel available at the discounted rate is an off-site hotel. However, the conference will provide shuttle service, free parking, and a buffet breakfast. While staying on site may be preferable, Dr. Robinson selects this hotel to make reservations. While on the phone making her reservations, Dr. Robinson will need to request a written hotel expense quote that shows the room rate with the hotel taxes eliminated. This can be emailed or faxed to your school. Here is one example of a hotel quote from an approved trip this summer. You can see that the quote lists the name and address of the hotel, as well as the arrival and departure dates. As part of a new procedure, the district office will be cutting you a check to pay for your room prior to your event. This will eliminate you having to pay for your room and request reimbursement upon your return. Here is another example of a hotel quote that was emailed. Again, the room information, confirmation number, and rate information is displayed. While most hotels, especially those associated with major conferences, are quite willing and able to send a quote with the taxes eliminated, you may run into a front desk that may not understand your request. In this instance, the hotel was not able to provide a quote that eliminated the taxes. If this is the case, do not worry. The district office will work with what you have to create an accurate accounting for you. In this instance, the hotel rate is $140 per night with a 2-night total of $280. The expense quote received indicated a total with miscellaneous fees of $300. This is the number you will enter for your quote. Because Dr. Robinson is spending the night, she will be eligible for meal money at an estimated rate of $28 per day. The state of Georgia has identified a standard daily meal allowance for travel reimbursement purposes. You will have the opportunity to download and save this form from this course. The standard rate for meals is $28 per day. However, there are high-cost areas that have been identified which are reimbursed at a rate of $36 per day. To qualify for the higher rate, your event must take place in one of the identified high-cost counties indicated here. Dr. Robinson's hotel and conference are in Clayton County, not Fulton. Therefore, she will only qualify for the standard meal rate of $28 per day. We have already determined that Dr. Robinson will travel approximately 63 miles each way for her trip. Her total mileage reimbursement will be 126 miles charged at a rate of 0.575 cents. The total mileage reimbursement is expected to be approximately $72. Finally, the conference registration fee is $180. In addition to providing the amount, you will need to go to the web page of the event that you would like to attend, and download a copy of the registration form, any printable programs, etc. Be sure to complete all the relevant parts of the form, and submit it with your expense quote and absence/request for leave to your immediate supervisor. If approved, the district office will complete the registration process for you, including sending any needed registration fees. Back to the expense quote, total the expenses that will be charged to the county, and enter the amount in the total estimated expenses box. The final box that you will need to complete prior to saving, printing, and signing will be the statement attesting to the fact that you have completed this training. You are now ready to save your form, print it out, and garner your signatures. Please be sure to sign and date your form before submitting to your immediate supervisor for signature.